So do you often find yourself procrastinating on a day-to-day basis? Like low-key, you can't even build up the courage or the motivation to actually take action. Like low-key right now, you're probably laying in your dark, crusty room, in your stinky, smelly bed, low-key folded up in your blankets like a Chipotle burrito. Well, the main reason why you're doing these goofy habits in the first place is because you are giving into the desire of your flesh. Because you see, right now, you are giving what the flesh exactly wants. You are giving what it wants. And you see, by doing this, it's going to be content with that because you are satisfying it. And by satisfying it, by giving it what it wants, it's going to be comfortable. It's going to be content with what it has. And with this comfortableness, it's going to produce laziness. And laziness, slothfulness, is a sin in the Bible. And you see, by doing this, you are basically going against the spirit. Because you see, when you are actually giving into the flesh, you are pleasing it, right? And you're going against the spirit. Because you see, why would you actually delay that gratification? Why would you go to the gym when you could low-key just scroll on TikTok for 7 hours a day? Why would you actually build the temple that God has given you when you could low-key just goof off? You could just go on the hub. You could get that quick, those few seconds of pleasure. But you see, this is actually destroying you because this is actually making you lazy. This is the number one reason why so many people can't do things. They can't work towards goals because they are giving into the flesh. They are constantly satisfying the flesh. So motives, how do I put a stop to this laziness? How do I put an end to this procrastination? Well, a good way to do that is by fasting. Because you see, when you start to fast, you are basically emptying out your body, emptying out your flesh. So obviously, your flesh is empty. There's no food in it, right? So obviously, it's going to want food. It's going to start to get hungry because you are fasting. You are depleting. You are deprived of the one thing that your flesh needs, which is food in order to survive. So you see, when you actually start to fast, your flesh is going to start to warn you. It's going to start to get hungry. And what do you do when you start to get hungry? Do you just sit there and get more hungry like Loki? Do you just sit there and not eat? No, my boy, because eventually you're going to die without food. So this forces you to actually take action. It forces you to actually go out your way and make or get some food. And hey, if you don't have any food in the house, you'll low-key go caveman style. Like low-key, you'll go out your way and actually like hunt for some food. And if you don't even have like a tool to actually kill like the animal or the thing that you need for food, hey, you will make it. But you see, the point in fasting, because you see, when you fast, it's actually making you, it's actually forcing you to actually take action. Because you see, you wouldn't take action. You wouldn't go out your way to actually get that food. You wouldn't go out your way to make that spear in order to get the food if you were never hungry in the first place. You gotta be hungry. You gotta be hungry for the word, my boy. And this is where you can actually start to read the word more, by fasting. Literally, it says in the Bible to fast. You see, Jesus, he didn't eat for 40 days and 40 nights. He was low-key fasting that whole time. And the devil was constantly tempting him with food and all these things. But Jesus knew that he was being tempted by the enemy. And this way, he was actually able to defeat the enemy by fasting. Back then, when I first tried to read the Bible, within like the first few sentences, I would just doze off. I would low-key just gaze off because I wasn't hungry to read the word, because my flesh, it was already satisfied. Like low-key, the night beforehand, I probably gave into temptation. I probably busted a quick gallon. Or low-key, I probably ate a bowl of ice cream that night. Because you see, I constantly gave into the desire of my flesh. I was constantly pleasing it. And you see, by doing this, I wasn't hungry. I couldn't actually be hungry because I was already so full. Like imagine I handed you $1 million at this very moment. You would be like, woo, let's go. I don't have to work another day of my life. But you see, by doing this, you are low-key gonna be content with this money, right? And it's a good thing to be content with what you have. But you see, this is actually going to make you lazy. Because now you're going to be like, oh, I don't have to work another day of my life. I don't have to actually go outside. Now I have all this money. I could low-key order like Burger Queen every single day. And this is going to make you lazy. It's going to make you unhealthy. It's not going to make you disciplined. You're going to be in this instant gratificational cycle. And you're going to get worse and worse and worse. With this $1 million, hey, I know a lot of people, if they had that type of money, they would low-key just get any type of girl like out in the street. Like low-key, like that would be like the first thing in their mind, is to get as many girls as possible, as many women as possible in their crib. But you see, by doing this, you're basically trying to get satisfaction of your flesh. You see, all of these things are connected to your flesh, because all the things of this world are for the flesh. Like low-key, like everything, like all the instant gratificational activities, whether it's the foods you eat, or the actual content you consume. It's all instant gratificational. It's all in some way satisfying your flesh. So hey, give fasting a try. It doesn't have to be like some crazy 1 week fast. No, my boy, it could literally be like half a day or a whole day. Because I guarantee you, once you actually get used to fasting, once you actually get used to resisting the desire of your flesh, you have full control of your body. Because if you could have control of your body, your hunger, you could low-key control anything else of your body. Like, I'm gonna keep it about. Because now that you have control of your body, you can connect more spiritually with the Most High, with Jesus, with God. Because now you are resisting that desire of the flesh and you are going with the spirit. And this is gonna allow your spirit to actually grow instead of your fleshly desires. But anyways, stay blessed, stay wealthy, rebuke the kingdom of darkness, and embrace the kingdom of righteousness. And remember to keep surpassing your limits, and I'll see you guys in the next one.